What's going on, guys? My name is Aldeniro and welcome to episode 82 of my Leicester City career mode on FIFA 15. We're starting this episode off with a game at the King Power Stadium against Arsenal, and as you can see, only 4 games played, but here's the first look at the league table and whereabouts we are. We're in first place with 10 points, and Arsenal are in 4th. We've started with Tom Huddlestone and Koyate in this game, and in this midfield I've actually sort of customized it a little bit, and I went for 2 sort of variations of the 4-3-3 formation with 2 defensive midfielders and then 1 attacking midfielder, which leaves a lot of space in the middle. But I just thought, given what I know about the way that Arsenal play, I thought this might be a good enough way to get at them and just see what it would be like to play Villalba in that type of position as well, with just 1 player behind him, and just overall just try and gauge how it would go. But Koyate gave us the lead in the 22nd minute as he bombed forward from the central defensive midfield position where he partnered Tom Huddlestone, which I think makes a very good CDM partnership. But I've got a question for you guys at the start of this episode, and it's something that I asked on Twitter yesterday just to kind of get a gauge of what the replies would be like. But is there any type of series that you guys would like me to do on my channel, like a new series? I was thinking of doing something new for December because I've fallen into a routine of really only playing this career mode. I wanted to do more of the journeyman, but YouTube just got really bad, and I feel as though the views for that series have just dramatically suffered as a result of that. And you know, it was like a disaster on episode 2 when it wouldn't process properly and I had to upload it again and stuff like that. And I don't know, just the series just really demotivates me now to think of it. And I will still be uploading it, just not as frequently as I had originally planned, and I want to do another series in the meantime. But as you can see, in the 45th minute, Andrew Robertson made it 2-0 to us against Arsenal, which was really good because Arsenal are a very good team, and fair enough, we are the home team, and at this point in time we're actually the better side than Arsenal, even though they have some amazing players. But it's still really good to be 2-0 up regardless. And Julian Brandt came forward in the 72nd minute, trying to get round Koscielny. Now his shot was terrible, but I just put that in there to show you what the footwork was like, really. Then we entered the final 10 minutes of the game with Koyate picking the ball up and playing a great ball into Villalba, who gets in ahead of Zelalem and rounds the goalkeeper to make it 3-0 to us with 10 minutes to go in the game, which was an absolutely fantastic return because Villalba's form had really suffered. Like, the game against Celtic, he was pretty bad. He scored a hat-trick against West Brom in the 6-1 win, which didn't count because the game crashed after that. So I was just happy for Villalba to get another goal in a game, because it feels as though his goal-scoring form hasn't been as consistent as it was last season, and that's mainly as a result of losing that game, losing the file against West Brom. But yeah, so if you guys want to answer about the new series thing, that would be really cool to see your suggestions, because obviously your opinion is important to me, considering I make these videos for you guys. But yeah, so in the 90th minute here, in the 95th minute even, we get a shot from Emre Can from distance, which is palmed away by the goalkeeper and out for a corner kick, which will be taken, I believe, by it's Bertrand Traore. He comes across to swing it outwards in towards Corker, whose header smashes the crossbar, and Arsenal do eventually manage to clear, and they come straight back up on the counter attack. I hate when teams clear a corner and it always goes straight to their players, because one thing I love in this game is volleying it from distance from a corner with the rebound. So it gets really annoying for me when the ball comes straight to the opposition player, but obviously that's just the way that I set up for corners and stuff as well. I'm sure there's a way around that. But then in the 95th minute, Edin Dzeko actually made it 3-2, pulling another goal back for Arsenal as a result of that counter attack. Thankfully enough for us, we did hold on, and the referee blew the whistle almost immediately after the kickoff. But I think a 3-2 scoreline is a little bit annoying because it's not really reflective of how the game went. We were definitely the dominant team, and we just slipped up in the final 10 minutes to allow Arsenal a foothold in the game, or something back into the game, to make it look as though they did a lot better than they did. And that's just, I don't know, it's a shame. But our next game is against Tottenham Hotspur. This is in the Capital One Cup, which I say it every single season, it is ridiculous that we're in this cup when we're in the Champions League, and we shouldn't enter it until the 3rd round in November. But what are you going to do? We went with naturally a slightly weakened team with Danny Ings and Jack Grealish playing, and then in the 20th minute of this game, Higuain plays the ball into Lewis Holtby, who comes very close with his shot, but thankfully enough it went into the side net. I was going to risk playing Connor Tabb in goal for this. He's our like substitute reserve youth goalkeeper, whatever. He's rated 65, but I just thought, like, nah, because I played him in one game before and he was terrible, and he has improved since then, but not dramatically so. We got a penalty in the 28th minute because of a push from DeAndre Yedlin on Emre Can, and I thought this was really harsh at first, but on the replay you can see he does tug his jersey, and that is an automatic penalty. That's what happens. But Danny Ings steps up and he gets what's technically his second goal for us, although it's the first goal that you guys will have seen, because the other one came in the simulated game against West Brom, which, you know, I'm just not over it, and that's why I keep talking about it. But it was good to go 1-0 up against Spurs. They're kind of such a weird team, Spurs are. Like, I've spoken kind of in depth about what I think about their tactics in the game and things like that, but Pritchard came very close in the 50th minute. Then we come up to the 69th minute with Tom Ince on the ball as he chips it into Jeffrey Schlupp, who gets in ahead of what's that defender's name again? I can't remember his name, but he had an absolutely amazing game. I think it's Kumalo, but he had a brilliant game in this game, apart from this moment here where Maicon Leite takes the ball and takes it round Kumalo with the Ronaldo chop, and then finishes into the back of the net to make it 2-0 with 8 minutes to go, which was really good. And it was kind of the only chance, or the only moment in the game where someone did get the better of Kumalo. He had an incredible game beforehand, which is weird because I've scouted him before and his stats don't look incredible, so unless he's glitched or something like that, maybe he just happened to have a really good game. But Maicon Leite peels in behind the defence in the 87th minute and he plays it into Jeffrey Schlupp, who really does seal the deal and ensure our victory and making it 3-0 to us from a counter attack, which was really good. My favourite part of FIFA 15 is when you're 1-0 up, or you know, you're ahead whatever against whatever team, and they start piling bodies forward to try and get an equaliser, and they just leave themselves so open at the back, and you can just get counter attacks from bringing on pacey players, and that's why Maicon Leite and Jeffrey Schlupp are super subs for us. But Higuain did pull a goal back from Tottenham in another example of us sort of switching off defensively within the final few minutes, which is something that I really want to tighten up, because like, on top of, you know, having an unbeaten record this season, Champions League loss against Celtic notwithstanding, I really do like having a solid defensive record, and we just don't have that this season, although we do have the best goal difference in the league, which is really interesting, because had the 6-1 game against West Brom counted, that would be another 4 goals on top of that, so we'd be really ahead in the goals scored, and that's something that I never actually do manage to get over the course of a season. Like, I never really do it, so it would be really good to have that this season in our corner, because had we been level on points with Chelsea at the end of last season, we wouldn't have won the league because of the goal difference. But our next game is at Eastlands against Manchester City at the city of Manchester at the Etihad, where Man City playing. We've got a really good record here over the past 2 seasons. We've picked up 6 points from 2 games, which is 2 wins from 2. I don't know why I said it in that way, but just after the half-hour mark, a player called Mate hit his header just wide of the post, which was a really threatening chance for Man City. But then we came forward in the 34th minute with Bertrand Traore on the right hand side of the pitch as he takes on Marcelo. Ronaldo chops around him and gets brought down in the process, for which the referee awards a penalty. And this is just, there's a penalty in every single episode, I think. It's kind of ridiculous. A lot of people do say it's more realistic because there's more penalties, unlike FIFA 14 where you'd have 1 penalty all season, and I agree to an extent, but I think EA just went all out. Like, they never do things in moderation at all. Like, it's never like, yeah, you know, you can have like 5 penalties a season, because that's probably the average based on a figure I just made up in my head, but now it's like you get like 22 penalties a season or something like that. It's ridiculous. But we did take the lead from that penalty thanks to Hector Villalba, who is just an incredible penalty taker, and he always does well from penalties. But Oscar hit the post in the 41st minute, and 2 minutes later City came forward again, with Jovetic getting in and managing to finish into the back of the net to level it for the hosts, which was it was always on the cards. Like, as soon as we took the lead, the momentum of the game definitely shifted in City's favour because of the way they set up their tactics, I assume. But they're such a weird team in the sense that they have a lot of sort of aging players in their team from time to time. In their starting 11 you'll see it, and it's not often they do decide to reimburse with players like Marcelo. But Jesus Navas capitalised on a defensive blunder in the 45th minute and he scored. So 2 goals in the space of 2 minutes for the home team sees them turn the game around, and it was looking quite bleak for us at this point, and I knew I had to change things up at half time, so I did change the team slightly. I can't remember specifically what I did. I ended up changing the formation just ever so slightly, and then changing the mentality to an ultra attacking one, which is something I always do. I always like, I never have it on just attacking. I never feel like that's good enough. I think when they added all-out attack to the game, it just meant that all-out attack is now ultra attacking, and ultra attacking is now attacking, and attacking is just something that nobody can be bothered doing. But in the 80th minute of this game, John Stones plays the ball into Benzia, whose shot hits off the post, which would have been a great way to come back to Eastlands and haunt Manchester City for selling them to us for 3 million. But sadly it wasn't to be, and in the 82nd minute, Villalba takes the ball around Bossarts and gets fouled in the process, and the referee comes and awards the second penalty of the game, which was just such a lifeline for us, because it looked as though our unbeaten run in the league was about to come to a grinding halt at the hands of Manchester City. But thankfully the referee was there in our corner, and it was a definite penalty as well, and that's just what you get when you pile pressure forward on teams like that. But Villalba stepped up from the spot and does what he did best, and that is score with 5 minutes to go, and it's another late goal for us, keeping our run alive. But in the 94th minute, Villalba comes forward once more as he takes on Fernandinho, gets into an amazing position but sees his shot saved in incredible fashion from presumably Joe Hart in the Manchester City goal. That was one of the last hits of the game, and the referee blows full time on what was a pretty tense game in which Hector Villalba saved our blushes, really. But that's how the game ended. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this episode. If you did, please do leave a like. That would be much appreciated, and do leave some suggestions on what series you'd like to see on my channel, because I'm definitely open to that at the moment, and I'm looking to do something a little bit different than what I usually do, and just mix things up a little bit. So hopefully you guys are on board. Please do leave your suggestions. I've been El Dinero. Thanks for watching.